So let's look at something else, because I think there's some other really important aspects to this that we haven't talked about. And one of them is, who am I making videos for? Okay, so I mean, that's probably a pretty important thing. Don't you think you'd want to know that? I mean, before we started, because let's say this, if we were making videos for young people who did first-time home buyers, didn't really have any knowledge about it, we might make some videos that were for them specifically. But were those videos really for somebody who's bought three homes? Of course they're not. But somebody that's bought three homes, you know what happens is they're a pretty sophisticated shopper. Price is less of a concern to them than it is first-time home buyers. They want somebody that'll catch things that no one else would catch. So if my target audience is seasoned home buyers, I'm making videos for them, for that target audience, that are way more sophisticated than what I'm making for the first-time home buyer. Okay, so because they've been there and done it, they don't need them first-time home buyer questions answered. So let's look at, when I say target audience, in other words, what I mean is, who are you producing videos for that want to consume the information that you put out? Okay, that's a target audience. Who is it you're producing videos for? Don't let that word target audience throw you off. Okay, how about first-time home buyers? We talked about them a minute ago. Sure, we're producing content for them. They are ideal to produce content for. All right. How about all other home buyers? We have to really segment them. I think there's three types of home buyers, short of investors. Please know that. There's first time, there's move up, and there's seasoned. Really, to me, there's only three types, right? I mean, you're a first time home buyer, okay, or you're moving up. You were a first time home buyer, but you're moving to your next home. Okay, that's a move up buyer. They're interested in mid-level sophistication questions, but then you're a seasoned buyer. You bought three homes or more. The fact of the matter is, you're a seasoned pro at it. You've seen all kind of home inspections, good and bad. So our target audience for all other home buyers is really broken down into two additional categories. Homeowners. Why would I make videos for homeowners? A couple of reasons, right? One of them is, how about pre-listing inspections? I think that's for homeowners, right? They're going to sell their home. Okay. And how about people that you've already done business with that need your help? They're a homeowner. Okay. How about you got a big crack in the concrete around your pool deck? How you gonna fix it? I mean, they're calling Keith. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna call Dale. They're gonna call Beth. How am I gonna fix that? They want to know it. And you know what? They feel a lot of these contractors are going to rip them off. You know what? So I'm gonna call my home inspector and ask him, how do I get this going? Well, you know what? It's before they call you, they look on the internet. You know what happens? There's your video. Okay. How many times have home inspectors said you need to trim the bushes and shrubs back? You need to extend those gutter downspouts. You need those limbs off the roof. I mean, we say these things every day. However, most people don't know it. Okay. Let's look at professional people. LinkedIn is a great place for professionals, all kind of professionals, and the videos we make for them would be different. Okay, we can get into all of these discussions, but there's quite a few of them. And when I started thinking about it, I was shocked how many people I had to put down. Home sellers, same way as homeowners. Okay. Oh, I had to put a fancy thing in there to keep everybody awake. That's spin move. Individuals preparing to sell, again, pre-listing. All right. Real estate agents. I mean, honestly, the fact of the matter is, while they're here, we need to leverage them. When they go away, we won't worry about them. But while they're here, let's leverage them. So somebody says, Keith is a pretty good home inspector, or Ken's a pretty good home inspector, or maybe we'll use him. You know what happens? They go look you up. First thing they do is see your videos. They see how you interact with the customer. They see if you're professional, what you look like, all those things. So the fact of the matter is, they choose you because of all the characteristics that you have. You speak nice to people. Real estate investors. I don't know how many of you guys, they're going to be listening to the call or on the call, do real estate investors. But I would go to real estate investor meetings and I would be the speaker. And you know what happens is, you build relationships with those people, and they need home inspectors. All right. I will tell you, they got some of the crappiest properties for you to inspect too. That's the only bad thing. However, their money is green. You know what? Nobody said things were always easy. But they have some pretty troubled properties sometimes. I have a little quick story about it. I had this guy did a ton of business for me, a real estate investor. So he comes up about an hour after I start, 2 hours maybe, and he said, Ken, what do you think? I said, do you own a bulldozer? And he's like, what? I mean, It was a slab home, and the plumbing was underneath the slab, and the plumbing had clearly broken apart. It was probably poly, broken apart, and there was a huge sinkhole that opened up within the middle of the slab, and it had cracked inward. Now that's all fixable, but that was probably the least problem of that house. So I said, I think what you would do if it was me, I would just bulldoze this thing. It's a nice area and put a new house up and you'll be make more money. But I don't think he purchased it. But I think that's the first time I ever said to the client, I think you should bulldoze the damn thing. So that was pretty good. They do have some pretty tough properties. How about this one? William Troutman shared with me. He got a great inspector that came on. The inspector had moved from another city. His wife had gotten transferred to the Louisville area, Louisville, Kentucky. And what happened was the guy was looking for a firm to join. He was a home inspector in another state, owned his own business. And what happened was he started interviewing, and he liked two or three companies, Williams competitors as well. He started watching Williams videos where the inspectors were making videos, the training, all of the education, all of the things on his YouTube account and on his website and blog. And the employee chose him over all of the other employers. So they were so impressed with what he was doing. So prospective employees is a recruiting tool. Okay, how about individuals studying to be a home inspector? They're coming and watching your stuff. What happens is when they get finished with their studying, maybe they want to join your firm. How about mortgage lenders? I've worked them hard and heavy.
Yep.
The Atlanta Business Chronicle came out every week and it shared who was who, and it was nice letters that go to them. You can go to the Mortgage Lenders Association, which I certainly did, and work with lenders. And as we shake out post Sitzer Burnett, I think the mortgage lenders are going to be really more important as a source of leads for us.
Absolutely.
They're in front of the sale, Keith. You know it. I mean, they're one of the few that are in front of the sale. You're going to still got to get pre-qualified. How about contractors and builders? We had relationships with them. They watched the videos, they gained confidence, they learned something. There's a whole people, professionals in construction. We're going to be talking about contractors and builders and other professionals in construction when we're talking about our preferred vendor program. So they see that you're a professional, you're talking to them, you're wanting to enter into a marketing agreement with where you can both share referrals with each other. They want to know you're professional and you want to know they're professional. So they can come and watch your videos and see you're absolutely a great compliment to their firm as well. So another target audience. Remember, we're still talking about target audiences. Well, here's one that most people don't do. How about property managers? Okay, we have a property in Venice, Florida that we lease to a professional property management company. They're nationally, and a tenant has a problem with the property, whatever it is. They go to their dashboard, they type it in, the management company receives it, and if we, the homeowner, don't have any resources in that area, they select someone else, but they use home inspectors all the time. Okay, so property managers is one I think that's underused by home inspectors. Home insurance agents, if you live on the coast, you're already leveraging them like crazy for, the 3 point and wind mitt and all the other things. So home insurance agents, a lot of times what happens is, I know Melissa and Dan in Tampa, the insurance adjuster or the insurance person will call up and say, the agent really, and say, you know what, I can't get coverage on this home until you go up there and inspect the electrical panel. Or does it have roof tie downs? Okay, so they charge for those inspections and they go up and do it and they get paid a nice little fee. Now, it's not that what you do every day. I mean, they still offer home insurance agents still refer them for full inspections, but the fact of the matter is they're nice fill-ins for somebody that's in that area and's got a few minutes.
Right.
DIY enthusiasts. These are people that really watch your videos. They want to start a project. They want to put in a new kitchen cabinet or a sink or a new faucet. And what do? You go to YouTube and learn how to do it, right? I mean, we have a little buddy in the neighborhood. We have a neighborhood we basically have no kids. We have this one little fellow. He's like in the sixth grade. I don't know how old you are. And he always comes by the house and we chit chat with him. His name is Travis. He's a good kid. And so anyway, he said, I got offered a lawn mowing job, but the homeowner asked me, did I know how to drive a zero turn mower? And I told him I didn't, so I didn't get the job. And I said, why don't you go to YouTube and watch how to do a zero turn mower? Okay, so DIY enthusiasts go to the internet and they are going to see your videos. Okay, so we want people to see our videos. Are any of these going to give you inspections every day of the week? They won't, but you know what happens is the cumulative effect of all of this traffic, when I say traffic, I mean visitors, will absolutely give you the leads that you need. Remember, the home inspector is going to have to generate their own leads. The day of the real estate agent, your buddies in there passing them out like playing cards are going to be gone post Sitzer, which is August 17th. The rules go into place of 2024. Okay, after that, it's an unknown wild, wild west. Okay, the federal government has promulgated the rules, but how are they going to get implemented? And you know what happens is the home buyer is now going to have to explain this to their home buyer. The home buyer's agent is going to have to explain to the home buyer. Oh, by the way, here's my fee. All right, and if I'm a home buyer, you know what I'm saying? I ain't paying that, buddy. Nice talking to you. Whoo, I'd be out of there in a shot. Okay, so that's
Where
where
do you
it's
think they're
going.
going to go?
I
So where
think
do you
they're
think they're going to go?
where the home buyer was going to go. I think there's two things, Keith. One of them is, can you find any property in your area on the internet? You can cut the search by neighborhood.
Sure.
Okay, so you don't need that, and buyers agents will tell you most of the customers bring the property anyway. Okay, so let's say this. Um, I think the listing agents may provide comparable market analysis. And I think the real estate agents, a lot of the listing agents are going to do dual agency, and that is fraught with legal issues.
Agreed.
But I think you're
Agree
going
with
to
that.
see more services like flat fee realty that for an a la carte fee will negotiate your contract. They have lawyers on staff. They have a closing company too, and they will actually review your contract. I think what they'll start doing is offering, they already do it, comparative market analysis. They did it for Beth and I. So you will be able to get a la carte services for a few $100 to give you everything that you need to do it. Um, so I think that's where they're going. A lot of good people, and this is really, I'm going to say this because I know this to be true, but I'm just going to say it. I don't always say it on camera, so I'm going to say this in the most polite way. I think that home inspectors, as we move from being a home inspector to a property consultant, okay, what opportunities do we have to expand the services we offer to home buyers? All right. So I think the opportunity, our core offer is still going to be a home inspection. Okay. But do we have supplemental offers? Can we provide them CMAs? Can we provide them access to other pieces of information that maybe they got from the buyer's agent? Okay. There's all kinds of things. Now, when Amazon and Zillow and all the others dominate the real estate markets, which they're already doing, what happens is if a home is vacant today, you call up or you go online and they do a quick soft credit check. Doesn't hurt your credit or anything. Just make sure you're not some crazy criminal. They give you a code and let you go to the listing yourself and take a self tour on a vacant home. Have you seen that, Keith?
No, no,
Yeah, they do it. All of them are doing it. And
they will not allow that here.
they don't have a lot of it.
They will not allow that here
Okay.
because the local realtor association controls the super boxes.
Okay. So what happens is Amazon doesn't use those boxes, and neither does Zillow or anyone else.
Right.
And the day of the domination of the local market is
Yeah.
they're out. The real estate, I mean, I don't think, let me rephrase that. There is some discussions that the National Association of Realtors will no longer be in place in 2 years. Okay. We're in the middle of a market disruption. I
Well,
mean, everything changes.
what's the advantage of them? What's the advantage of having a realtor association?
The
They
local or NAR.
both.
Okay. So
Simply
the
because
main thing,
NAR, I mean, NAR let the local realtors down with the negotiations of the new law that's coming. So what value does the local realtor association have to their realtors? What are they offering them? Because
right.
basically they can go to Zillow, Trulia, a home buyer can easily go that and look at the listing.
They sure
Well,
can.
you got to remember also this all started years ago when they didn't have what we have today. So this has just been kind of going on and on all
Right,
these years. So, but
right.
Ken's talking about, it's gonna be out the door because you don't need them.
I think when you look at a national trade organization, whether it's NAR or it's the home inspectors with ASHI or NACHI rather, what they really, the primary thing they provide their members is a national lobbyist, somebody in Washington to protect their interest and to gain opportunities. And when you look at the home appraisers, when the federal government promulgated new rules, they got a lot of inspections that they shouldn't have gotten and didn't want because their ASHI did not have a national lobbyist. And when Nick Gromyko came in, that was one of the big changes that he made for InterNACHI is that they have a national lobbyist on, they pay to help protect the home inspection industry.
Right.
But I think the local associations, Keith, are reevaluating what's in it for them by having membership. You're already seeing NAR drop membership so fast, they've now stopped reporting their numbers. Okay, so they've stopped reporting their numbers because the losses are tremendous in membership. Because what do they bring? And why are agents see they're no longer forced to be a member of NAR. Okay, so that's a big thing. And the local associations are even worse. What are they doing? You can go to them parties.
Almost
No.
like a franchise.
Don't even go.
Yeah, so I think that's it. So I think as we move in a post-Setzer Burnett world, I think, and this is my big thing, and you're gonna hear me preach it over and over again, there are tremendous revenue opportunities for people that are traditional home inspectors. Okay, that we have to make home inspector are certainly our core offering, but what other things can we provide that are left in a vacuum by others vacating? Okay, so if a home buyer isn't going to pay a buyer's agent's commission, the buyer's agent obviously provided some service. Can we provide those services, or can we have access to those services through a third-party vendor that we recommend? So it's going to be a tremendous opportunity. My frustration with this whole thing, Keith, you and I, we're old, man. We ain't gonna be able to see this to the end. It's exciting, I think. When you have market disruption, new opportunities happen, and
Oh,
you have
sure.
winners or losers. And so I think what happens is so could you have a radon mitigation company? And I know Beth said you had a new business idea. It was pretty exciting. Could you offer those services? Because what happens is we're going to have to change some rules and regulations regarding the home inspection industry. In other words, NACHI just made that stuff up. ASHI just made that stuff up, the standards of practice. Okay, if the state regulatory agencies say you can't do it, then you can't do it. But if InterNACHI and ASHI says you can't do it, who are they?
Yeah.
To tell you, the business owner, anything. It's like NAR telling you got to do this or that or the other. That doesn't work. So we are going to have to make some changes and look at state regulatory agencies to be able to provide the kinds of services that I think that we can provide, ancillary services that bolt onto our core offering.
Ken, I think the disruption in the process with the listing agent as being dual agent is really going to upset the whole table. Because I can see now, our local board has already transitioned into the new law. And I see a lot of buyers now going straight to the listing agent and circumvent no buyer's agents involved. Listing agents doing dual process for the 3%, right? But I understand the laws coming down that the listing agent cannot do dual duty. Have you heard that?
Not even if
Okay.
she,
Okay, so Setzer Burnett does not
No, it does not address that.
It does not address that.
Right.
However, what happens is you're going to start seeing lawsuits right and left. Because think about this: if you're a listing agent, your fiduciary responsibility is to the person who paid you. Okay, and that person who paid you
And
is
it's
the
always
home
been like that.
seller.
It's always been like that to the seller.
It has been. And
Right.
so if you're a buyer and you go to the listing agent, then what happens is the listing agent is going to work in the best interest of the seller and not you. And there's a conflict of interest because you have an interest in that as well. I
Oh, I
think
agree.
this,
I agree. I
yeah,
agree
the second thing
100%.
that you said was quite interesting too, and this is where a problem comes in as well. Now the buyer goes to the listing agent, but the listing agent should only be able to charge their commission, and 3% is a
Right.
pipe dream.
That's right.
3% is today. However, you know what happens, Keith? I'll go in there and get a listing for 3%. You come in behind me and you're equally qualified and you'll do it for 2%. All right. So
Right.
Dill comes in behind both of us and says, I'll do it for 1%.
Right.
And he's equally qualified. You know what happens is we're taking Dill, because he's doing the same job for 1%. But now, if you got to take the buyer's agent's responsibility as the selling agent, and you can only get half of the revenue, you've increased your cost without any additional revenue.
Right. But it's going to be the listing agent and the buyer's agent ability to negotiate. And most of the agents cannot negotiate anything. They've been so hand-fed down, they're getting 3% on this side, 3% on that side, and that's it. And then now they have to negotiate everything. And most agents do not know how to do that.
That's why
Yeah,
they
they're
won't
not.
So
last.
I think what's going to happen is going to move to the lenders. I think the lenders are going to play a bigger part of the negotiations.
So do I. And I think buyers are going to flock to the flat fee realties too, because they're not going to call that. They'll probably call themselves realty services. And I already encourage Brandon to look in your area, because what happens is they're charging, Beth and I paid $500. We got the deluxe package with flat fee out of Tampa. Okay, they did a marvelous job. We got a lockbox key, drone photos. The list goes on and on. It's tremendous of what you got. And for just $500, you could have gotten it for 97. Okay, so they put you on all the major things, and we sold the homes there, and we sold them for top dollar more than we asked.
But what did you pay to the buyer side?
Well, we were forced to pay 2%,
Right.
but that's over.
But that's a
That,
key. But that's where this industry's gone now.
yeah,
I
yeah.
That's what
think
Kim was
I think
saying.
everybody's going to go to to like a flat fee listing and pay. Okay, I'm going to pay 2%, 3% to a buyer's agent, and hopefully the owner of that house, the property owner, can negotiate the rest of the transaction. Because if not, then the buyer's agent's going to be doing dual duty.
I think buyers agents are going to go. I think what you're going to see is we've already seen it, but what you'll see is that um, home sellers, including Beth and I, are completely pissed off having to pay for services that we didn't use. So it's like me going to your house, Keith, and said, "You don't know me. I haven't really provided you any value, but you owe me $7,000."
Right,
Okay, the home buyers are sick of this. I mean, that's what precipitated this lawsuit.
right,
Okay, so the fact of the matter is, home sellers, I should have said. Okay, so what happens is the home seller is going to negotiate their contract with a buyer, with a listing agent who now is in negotiations with the home seller. And that's why I gave you that example. I'm at 3%, Keith's at 2, and Dill's at 1. We're going with 1. But there is an alternative for $500 or $300, and that's flat fee realty, and they're full service.
right.
Okay, so I think listing agents are going to get clubbed in this as well. If they think they can march out there and demand their 3% plus something for the buyer's agent, they don't understand the competition. They
No,
don't understand how the market works. Okay, so that Mercedes might have to be swapped in for a damn Toyota Camry.
or a Kia.
Yeah, or a camel, couple of horses, I always said a damn donkey,
No,
you
it's
ride that thing,
changing.
right?
It's changing. I talked to one of my top producing agents, and she said it is so bad. And she's probably been doing this for the last 20 years. And she says, I've never seen it this bad. I'm so slow. I don't have anything in the pipeline. I don't know where my next dollar's coming. But she doesn't need it because her husband, of course, has the majority of the money. But it's just heartfelt that these people have built these businesses for so long, and now this market is changing and is just leaving them by the side. And I just feel bad for them.
Heraclides, the ancient Greek philosopher, over thousands of years ago, you know what he said? The only thing certain is change. Okay. So I'm going to say this to you tonight, and I'm going to make some enemies when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's the damn truth. The market is disrupted, okay, and we're just beginning with the disruption, and the agents are starting to feel it. Okay, so what's going to happen is you just described that seasoned real estate agents, been in the business 20 years, they have these changes, they don't know how to deal with it, this, that, and the other. You know what? It's time for them to retire.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so let me say this to you about home inspectors. The home inspectors that are going to survive this market disruption are those that are going to leverage new ideas. Okay, if you think that somebody is going to stand there and feed you home inspection leads again, that's over. Post Sitzer Burnett, that ain't going to happen. You are going to have to get out there and build your own sphere of influence. You're going to have to get your own leads. You're going to have to be a real business owner. Okay, that's going to be the only people that last. And if you've been in the business 20 or 30 years and you're older and you resist these ideas, you might as well go ahead and take what money you got in the bank and close that shop.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is, these younger people are going to come in. They understand technology. They understand the power of video. I don't have to have these videos with discussions with a younger crowd. You know why? They get it. You know, they're making videos from their phone, editing them and sending the damn thing to wherever they send them on the job.
Hey
You know, I
Ken.
mean, they've got it.
Hey Ken.
Hey, Ted. Welcome,
Question.
sir.
Good yourself?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you. Great to see
So,
you.
yeah, likewise. So you're saying, and I missed the first part of it because I just got back in the office.
Mhm.
So you're saying most of the video is the way to the wave of the future for marketing. Like you're saying basically direct to the public.
I'm saying direct to the public. You're going to hear it called other words. You're going to hear it called direct to the consumer. I usually
Mhm.
use, when I'm not talking to home inspectors, I use direct to the consumer, but you guys know direct to the public. So I always say it that way. But yeah, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to build a sphere of influence.
Right.
So think about this, Ted, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Let's talk about it again because it's so important. But we talked about this. The real estate agents that are successful, and I'm talking about listing agents, those real estate agents got out and built a sphere of influence. They participate in civic groups and organizations. They know the lenders. They know all the people in the community. So they have a funnel. And so when somebody needs their home sold, that client or that prospect drops into the top of the funnel. So they have business drip out each month. Okay, but what happens is when the buyer's agents go away, and this is why they're going away, because home sellers can find, I mean, home buyers can find any piece of property on the internet today. I mean, if you're buying a home, you don't need a buyer's agent to do it. Remember in the old days when Beth was in real estate hell, she'd have to slog over there and find these properties in a book and do all this crap. That's over. You know, technology has displaced that. Okay, so what happens is now I'm on a call with a buyer and I'm saying, you know, hey, I'm a buyer's agent, you know, I'm Ken, and I'm gonna be glad to help you with this property. And I'm talking about this, that, and the other. And oh, by the way, my fee is $2,000.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you and I both know nobody's gonna do that. They don't, the consumer does not perceive that kind of value from a buyer's agent. Okay, so the seller is under Sitzer Burnett is no longer obligated to pay that buyer's agent's commission. That's what the whole lawsuit's about.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is, the listing agent is trying to hold on to damn 3%. And that ain't going to happen either, because I just said, Keith goes over and makes a professional presentation at 3%. I come in behind Keith and say, I'll do it for 2. And
Yeah.
Dill comes in behind him and says, hey, Dill, don't do it for 1. And Flat Fee Realty says they'll do it for $534.
Well, the funny thing is, Beth slapped my hand. Yeah, yeah, I see the face. You sent me that video. Because I posted on my personal page and not my business page.
Oh.
Yeah. So just so you know, with it, when I posted those 2 videos, within 10 minutes, I had over 200 plays on my personal. That was one. The other video got over 300. So when I posted them to TikTok, I got over 1,500 views in probably about an hour. So I see what you're saying with the videos, but when I do them, for some reason, when I post them, they automatically go to my personal page, not my business page. So I
I'll
gotta
show you
figure
how
that
to fix that.
out. Okay, cool. Yeah, because you know, can I post on both, like do my business page and my personal page?
You have to put it
Yes.
on your business page and then share it to your personal page.
Okay. All
Because
right.
you
So,
probably have
I'm getting a
more,
lot of views and hits onto my videos, like
but
a
that
lot.
is really just that little bit right there is just one aspect of reaching the market. When you start thinking about distribution of your videos, there's 20 places I could name off the top of my head where you can distribute your videos. Because I said earlier, we have to get those videos out everywhere customers are looking. Okay, and Ted, you'll be able to hear this replay because there was some really great stuff that really gets into what you're talking about right there. So let's continue on for a minute, and then we'll just continue to open up our discussion. So homeowners or hobbyists are doing it. Okay, so here's some other target audience. How about senior homeowners? Okay, you know what happens is we have a lot of seniors that live around here in Florida, and the fact of the matter is that they don't know if this is working right or they don't know if that's working right. Could you get them on an annual or maintenance agreement? They are inclined to do it, and they got money. Not every senior, but most seniors, depending on where you live. I mean, there's no senior in this community that doesn't have money, so they would love somebody to come in and help them understand, is everything safe and good? Okay. How about Keith? This is good for you. How about buyers relocating in a new area? Here's one I was really talking about because don't you live close to a military base?
No, I don't.
Okay, I was thinking that
he's
that
in
was one.
Lafayette,
Okay,
Shreveport, yeah.
okay. So what happens if you are living close to a military base? Why wouldn't the people that are selling homes have you? Why wouldn't they be watching your videos? Why wouldn't the military people that are relocating there watch your videos? Okay, so these are just target audience. How about renovation enthusiasts? Okay, and then my last one, homeowners or home buyers interested in renovating. So you know what happens is you want to renovate, boom, we got a video for you to watch.